everybody. Welcome to the live of New Ideas We Talk, the live of New Ideas and Opportunity Network. I'm Nino Pietrini of EProjectConsul, and today, as you know, we are going around Europe to meet all the partners of the network. Today we are going to Spain. Actually, we are going to the south of Spain, Andalusia, and we're gonna meet José. Good morning, José.
Ciao. Buongiorno, good morning, buenos días, Nino.
Buenos días.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Very well, very well. Excellent.
So I know that you are running from one Zoom meeting to a team one, and now you are here with us, right?
We are going from one way to another. From one meeting, we should be in, I don't know if we should be today in Latvia or something like that. But unfortunately, we are doing everything from here.
But I think we are lucky because anyway, we are keeping working, even if in online mode, but all the European cooperation are continuing online in this morning, but all our projects, all our ideas are not stuck, but they are growing and keeping.
But it's interesting because a lot of people ask me, "Hey, now and now that you cannot travel, what is happening?" I say, "The job we keep working. The work goes on. We cannot show the nice side of our job, which is traveling and meeting people, but the work goes on. So we keep doing it."
So, José, let's start. So, first of all, we want to know who you are, and we want to know a bit more about your organization. So just tell us what you do and what your organization does.
Okay, well, my name is José Carlos, and we are talking from Córdoba in the south of Spain, in Andalusia. I am one of the co-founders and project managers in INDEPCIE, which is the Institute for the Professional Development through coaching and emotional intelligence. We are a very brand new company. We were established just 2 years ago, and but the company is new, but the staff is not so new and not so young, as you can see. So, which is we all have a very solid background, mainly in training. Just in a short review, how do I arrive to Erasmus? Well, it's a bit complicated. I'm going to do it very short. I have a degree in English philology, so I am a teacher, an English teacher. It is my degree, but I worked for 15 years as a journalist, so I have a strong background in communication. Then I moved to training. And when I was working in my former company, I entered in contact with Erasmus Plus thanks to our common friend Javier Morales. It's a friend of a lot of people here in the screen. And he introduced me to Erasmus. And one of the things that I like to highlight when people ask me about what I do is not what I do, but what Erasmus has done for me, because I have a lot of gratitude to Erasmus because it has given to me the space to develop myself both professional and personally, putting in a shaker all my talents or all my experience. And now I can use my languages, my communication, training, traveling, meeting people. If we put all together in a shaker, and even I can, and I've done a living from that, and it is Erasmus Plus. And so when people ask me, what do you do? I prefer to answer what Erasmus has done for me.
It's really nice. So let's go a bit on the organization. So now we know more about
Exactly.
You. Now I'm a bit worried because as I know that you are an English teacher, you will hear all my English mistakes. But be nice with me. So let's now talk a bit about your organization.
Okay, well, INDEPCIE is a training company. We are a training company. We are trainers. We are trainers. We are professional facilitators. We are coaches, because we work mainly in 3 big areas. It is coaching, emotional intelligence, and soft skills. And we have 2 lines of business. One is training. We work with companies, organizations, private and public bodies, or individuals. And this is what we like. We are trainers in the full sense of the word. And on the other hand, we work in European projects. But both are closely connected, because what we do in our trainings, we try to transfer it to our projects, and what we learn in Europe is absolutely transferred to our trainings. So it's a two-way travel. And we apply those three specialities to different areas, such as entrepreneurship, leadership, employability, education, personal and professional development. And in the last year and so on, we want to switch, and we want to be more focused on social inclusion and diversity.
So, as you already mentioned, social inclusion and diversity, can you give us some example of what you do with the topic of social inclusion, how you cover this topic?
Okay, well, I think that the departure point is that those areas in which we are experts, for instance, emotional intelligence or soft skills, we have an advantage, and this is that they can be applied to very different aspects, to very different fields. And it's true that we have been more focused on the labor market or in the labor issue, but now we have switched to social inclusion, and we are also working in a very nice project which has nothing to do with what we have done before, and it is the project 3R. 3R is the acronym for Respire, Remember, and Respond.
I will let you appear the name of the project, so it will be
it's nice. It's down here.
Everybody can also read here.
And as you can see, it's an application of emotional intelligence for reducing recidivism. So we are working in prisons, we are working with inmates, but also with prison officers and social workers developing their daily work in prisons, because it's a very tough work, and they need a lot of emotional support, a lot of emotional management, both the staff working in prisons, but also, and the final beneficiaries are inmates, because sooner or later they are going to reinsert in the society. They are going to be back to probably a world that was the origin of their problems. And sometimes it has to do with the environment where they are living, and also with their internal management and their social relationships. And this is here where we apply soft skills and emotional intelligence to a very different topic, to a very different target group, that it's exciting.
So when this project started exactly?
Well, this project was approved in the last call in 2020. We are just in the very first steps, and now we are working the first intellectual output, which is a training system for prison officers and social workers and members of NGOs or social organizations working in prisons. It's a training system in emotional management. We are in the first steps. We have just finished the first task, which has been a survey asking social workers and prison officers what is happening exactly in the day by day. And we have taken great conclusions, because the levels of stress are very high. The impact of their job in their daily life, in their personal life, is also quite interesting. The cases of burnout are huge. So there is a lot of job to do in that sense.
So as far as I understood, because you are mentioning different target of this project, you have a kind of multi-level target. Can you explain a bit more how the project is going with all the target you choose?
Yes, exactly. It's something that we like to introduce in our projects, because of course, the final beneficiaries are inmates, or inmates which are close to release, to reinsertions in society. But we like to pay attention to the, we can say, intermediate target groups, because of course these are the final beneficiaries. But what about people working in prisons? What about their emotional management? What about their feelings? What about their sensations? And this is why we like, for instance, if we talk about education and we develop a project for students, it's obvious that they are the final beneficiaries. But you cannot work on students if you don't work previously with teachers or with parents or with families. You cannot work with employees if you first don't focus on managers or CEOs. It happens the same here. You cannot focus only in the final beneficiaries if you first don't focus on the people who work every day with them, in the people with are in the everyday contact, because it is also you can call it a secondary or a parallel target group, but at the end it is the whole of a pyramid, and we want to reach all the segments in the topic.
That is nice, because actually it's the way then to have the impact on the society. So
exactly.
Going this multi-level to have the impact. What I want to say to you is that Jesus Cabello Perez says to all of us, good morning, and he's agreeing with all the things you are saying, actually. He's commenting under the video. So in this way we say a lot to all our followers and friends and partners of the network. So let's go a bit. Now we know exactly what you do. We have some concrete examples, but as this year started, in a way or another, it started. And so what are the plans for 2021? We are still waiting the call for Sample of Erasmus, but I think you are already working. So tell us a bit which will be your approach for this 2021.
Well, yes, as I told you before, we have a lot of ideas, and sometimes this is a problem, because this is in the sixth sense, when the guy said, sometimes I see that people. The problem with project managers is that sometimes we see new projects, and this is a problem, because we are thinking 24 hours a day. Yes, we are thinking about a lot of new ideas. We are also connecting some of them with entrepreneurship and leadership and improvement of professional development, because I think that at the end it is essential for an economic impact, for a social impact. But we are also focusing on social inclusion. I think that one of the things, the main thing that us project managers have to do when we are thinking about new ideas is not to think in ourselves, not to think in our organizations or our weak or our strong points, but thinking on people and thinking on the real problems of such a target group. Which are the problems of the people? Which are the problems of unfavored target groups, of disabled people, of people with low qualifications? Which are the problems they are facing day by day in both professional or personal or social life? And here I think that when we focus on people, is the first step to develop ideas, to apply what we know to improve their quality of life. It's something that I think that sometimes is quite easy, but at the end, if we understand it, we are going to be able to create better projects, better proposals, and at the end, to better ways to improve their lives. It's something that sometimes I think that it's quite obvious, something that probably everybody has in mind, but that sometimes people forget it. And I think that this is the departure point to create a great proposal and a winning project.
This is nice, because actually we're also talking last day about that, and you said something that to me that was really nice, and I want you to mark again that we are writing applications, so that we are not taking part of project, but we are writing applications because we want to answer to the needs of our target group. So, and this is also actually something nice, and something that, as far as I know, it will be remarked this year in the new proposal of Erasmus, that will be more focused on the logical framework of the explaining the project idea. And I think this is a kind of lesson we can say we can give to our colleagues around Europe, that sometimes it's really often when we are building consortium, we hear people, I want to participate. And for us, it's complicated to understand that this I want to participate, because what we want to hear often is how I can contribute, not what I want to participate.
But you know, Nino, it's something that it's complicated, because when we are writing projects, and it took a time for me to understand it. At the beginning, when we write projects, we write in those fields or those kind of projects in which we feel comfortable. It's obvious. But in one moment, you have to understand that we are not working for ourselves, but we are working for the people. Mm-hmm. So it is something that, for me, it's something that I have in advantage thanks to my background as journalists. Because when I write in the newspaper, I don't write for me. I'm not going to read the article. Someone is going to read it. So when I write, I'm writing for the reader, for the customer, for the final beneficiary of what I'm doing. If we are able to transfer this idea to our projects, I think that we are in the very first step for success.
So it was really, really nice to have this conversation with you. And I want to give to the audience some contact where they can find your organization and your project. I'm putting here the website where all the follower can check your organization and more information by the free air project that you presented before. And what I want to say also is that we are here also because an organization that is CPIP, that is the Permanent Secretariat, is putting us all together, managing the network. And I want to invite all the people that want to join, all the organizations that want to join the network, to go on the website of the New Ideas New Opportunity Network and maybe send the application and join us in this big family. So thank you again to spend some time with me and to take this time between calls and Zoom and meetings. Was really nice to talk with you. So I say to everybody to see you at the next live. I don't know if you want to say hello to everybody also.
Well, thanks a lot, Nino. Thanks to you. Thanks to New Ideas for the opportunity. Thanks to all the CPIP staff for creating this space of meeting people, of creating ideas, and improving life of people. So thanks a lot, and see you soon.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.